Confessed killer Adrian Gonzalez was sentenced today in Santa Cruz for the 2015 murder of 8-year-old Maddie Middleton. Gonzalez will serve out his sentence at the Department of Juvenile Justice until he's 25 years old. That's in 4 years. He will also need to register as a sex offender. Gonzalez changed his plea to guilty earlier this month after a February California Supreme Court ruling said that minors under the age of 16 cannot be tried in adult criminal court. He was 15 years old when he kidnapped, raped, and strangled Maddie Middleton, and his case had been in legal limbo because he is now 21 years old. Joining us now to talk more about how we got here, KTVU legal analyst Michael Cardoza. Michael, good to have you on here. So originally Gonzalez was set to be tried in adult court, but then we had this ruling from the California Supreme Court. Talk about how this ruling changed the dynamics of this case and led to the sentence that we saw handed down today.
Well, let's talk about the law first. What the new law says is that if a person is under 16 years of age, so 15 years, 11 months, and 29 days or so, you cannot try them as an adult, no matter what crime they commit. They have to stay in juvenile court. And what happened in Mr. Gonzalez's case, he was transferred from juvenile court after what they call a 707 hearing to adult court, and he was supposed to be tried in adult court for murder. Now, he was facing approximately 127 years in adult court. But since this new ruling came down, this new law that says you cannot be tried as an adult if you're less than 16 years of age, he's now in juvenile court, and they can only keep him until he's 25 years old, and then they have to release him unless there's some petitions to keep him for another 2 years.
Gonzalez's defense attorney has essentially argued that his client has a better chance at getting some sort of rehabilitation if he is being held here in the juvenile system as opposed to in the adult system. Do you think that is more likely to happen with him remaining in the juvenile system?
Well, that's one of the big discussions they have in juvenile court, and that's the issue. Can a juvenile be rehabilitated over a certain number of years? And right now he's 21. So what, 4 or 5 years? Can he be rehabilitated? The district attorney in this case said absolutely not. And he and the defense attorney certainly know. Does he have a better chance of being rehabilitated there? Probably. But should he be kept in juvenile court? The law says yes. This is one of those cases where the law tries to do what's right for juveniles. And I know this is a tough case to swallow, but these are one of those exceptions to what the court and what the lawmakers are thinking when they enact these type of laws. And that's sad because this guy belongs in adult court.
Sure. And as you just point out, Michael, I mean, this is one of those extreme cases here. But can you talk a little bit about what was the rationale for the California Supreme Court to uphold this law, saying that those under the age of 16 will remain in the juvenile system?
Well, the court talks a lot about the human brain and the juvenile brain and that frontal lobe. And that is factored into their thinking, where they say that frontal lobe is not fully developed. And the frontal lobe of the human brain deals with executive thinking. And they say when juveniles commit certain crimes, even murder, they don't have that executive thinking. They don't have the same processes that most adults have. So they give breaks to juveniles and say, let's not ruin their entire lives. Let's rehabilitate them and make them good citizens. But in a case like this, everybody goes up in arms, and rightfully so. Because this was an awful murder, and this kid, can he be rehabilitated? Most would think not.
Yeah, that certainly is an open question, and obviously the family of Maddie, very upset about the way this is all played out. You can only imagine. All right, we have to leave it there. KTVU legal analyst Michael Cardoza, always appreciate your time. I want to let our viewers know that it was, in fact, a very emotional day in the courtroom during the sentencing here for Adrian Gonzalez. We are going to have more from the courtroom in Santa Cruz coming up tonight on the news at 5 o'clock. Michael, thank you.